Greetings, Earthlings. Hi everyone, I hope you guys are all doing so well today. Welcome to my channel, Pterozactyl. Hi, I'm Zac, I'm a clairvoyant psychic, and I share my gift to bring out the best in yours. In today's video, each reading is going to be a surprise in and of itself. I looked at different lenses in each pile, so no reading is alike, and there are 3 to choose from, so do make sure you make an effort to ground your energy, because when you ground your energy, it gives us the best chance to link up in time and space so that I can pull forward the most useful information. So take a couple deep breaths, maybe turn the lights down low. I like to light a couple candles. That'll look a little different for everyone. Once your energy is grounded, choose between the piles intuitively, and I will meet you at your reading. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. I'm in such a chipper mood. I don't usually record 2 videos, in a week, but this week I just felt like I had extra energy. So, what do I want to do with you guys first? Okay, you know what I want to do? I feel like I want to look at a couple different lenses for you. And the first one I want to look at is, what is the next step for your life purpose? Like, what's the very next thing you need to do, whether that's big or small, anything in between? Let's go in that direction. I'm just going to keep this clear quartz off camera. I love to put a clear quartz over the deck just to get it nice and clear. Oh, what was that? Okay, so this first message, this is towards your life path, your life purpose, whatever that is. And the first message I'm getting is like, I don't want you guys to like struggle, like to put yourself through mental charades is what's coming through. That's such a weird way of saying this. I just don't want you guys to put too much emphasis behind figuring out what your life purpose is. That's what I think is coming through. I just feel like there's a little bit, being in the mind right now, too much in the mind. And I feel like it's not really talked about a lot, that the mind is like really not like a good place sometimes. I feel like it's really, really advanced compared to what we get to be taught, through modern school systems. I think our minds are so much more advanced, and I think that's a double-edged sword, kind of just like what I'm seeing here with this 8 of Swords. I just feel like sometimes we can spend too much time in the head, and that's the first thing I have to relay for Pile 1 right now, is we want to really get you out of the mind a bit. And I think it's just because right now there are things that are keeping you there. For some of you this is indecision, and for others of you it's just, I'm hearing that you're not giving yourself enough options as far as how to make this next move. You're not giving yourself enough options. There's not enough not enough cards on the table, I'm hearing. I'm seeing you want to bake, oh my god, let's just work with this because it's fall, pumpkin spice muffins, and you just don't have the pumpkin puree, right? So you could make muffins technically, but you don't have the right ingredient. And I'm just feeling like some of you also are just not giving yourself enough credit for the work that you've already done towards this purpose, towards this path, but it's also the work that you're doing presently. I feel like I want Pile 1 just to give themselves a little bit more wiggle room, right? Or to sense, that's a good one, or to sense that you actually have more wiggle room than you're presently perceiving. Because this person here, they are like bound, obviously, right? But the binds are really loose. It's almost, I've literally never seen this before. I'm interpreting these binds as tissue paper or toilet paper. Doesn't it look like toilet paper? And so that's so cool. Yes, because that perfectly illustrates the concept I always get when I look at this card, which is that the binds are so loose, you could just wriggle out of them. Well, I'm going to use this one forever now. If this was tissue paper or toilet paper wrapped around you, you would just literally have to like shift a bit and it would break. And that's what I'm sensing for you as well, is to not be so rigid wherever this is like applying in your life. I'm loosely putting this on for life purpose, okay? But I just sense that you guys are kind of like isolating yourself, or you're like, it's one of two things. Pile one is either isolating themselves as far as like options, or like not giving themselves enough credit for how far they've traveled. I just want to see like a little bit more wiggle room. That's this first message, okay? This is like the next step for your life purpose. And you know what I want to do? I don't always do this. It's going to be so close for the camera. Here are some tiny messages. I actually saw a spider in here earlier, so that's something. What I want to do is just reach in here and just grab like maybe a message or two. I love working with these guys. I try to bring them in once in a while. Okay, hold true. Breaking the mold. Love to see that. This little yellow guy. Every bit earned. Okay, yeah. A helping hand and expert. Okay, cool. So what I'm seeing, again, is the emphasis on those two main messages. I'm sorry if I just adjusted. I hope it didn't wiggle the camera. What I'm seeing is like literally this one. Breaking the mold, right? I like that. And a helping hand. So it's on two sides. One, this is like the sides where we need to give ourselves more options, more cards on the table, more ingredients to be able to shift our current lot in a more favorable position. And then this energy over here, where it's just like we kind of need to break out of the self-limiting belief cycle that we've been in, or this is like the energy of like thinking you're not doing enough, is how this is coming through. And I feel like the best advice is this energy of reaching outside of ourselves, or looking outside of the box, kind of like taking off the blinders, and anything that has to do with limitation is coming through. I just feel like you guys need to sort of, it's almost the energy of this big old, what is this? A bowl of little tiny messages. They're all so different. I designed each one of them individually, and then I just like threw them all together because I didn't like working with them as a deck anymore. And it's kind of like that rigid structure where I had each one of these different colors was a unique deck, and I didn't want that anymore. It was just like I wasn't feeling it, right? The same cards would pop out because energy associated with them, but also like if they're not perfect, cards will just flip out based on their weight. Okay, this is all very interesting to me. I hope this reading is like resonating for you guys. It feels slightly different, but I like it. Okay, so what I'm seeing is like, as far as your life purpose goes, I really want this like energy to shift, right? I want this like pressure cooker that you're putting yourself into to be removed, and it's kind of the energy of just like, allow yourself to think about a different way about going about this. Allow yourself to ask other people for assistance. Allow yourself to look up, that's a good one, how other people have done what you want to do. One thing that I really wish, this is coming full circle, as far as the information we're giving in modern schools, that message early on, one thing I really wish we had better access to when we were younger is just how people go about life and how people go about getting what they want and achieving the career that they have, because there are so many more ways to go about life than what is kind of written in modern society, right? As far as, for example, just think about like photography. I always use this as my example, guys. I used to be a professional photographer, and I went to school for, liberal arts, but I emphasized in art and studied photography. And then I went to a master's program, and that was just so unnecessary. And I didn't realize that until I got there. I didn't realize how people actually made it into the career of photography until I was literally there. and listening to stories of, I was, fortunate to work with some really famous people and hear about how they got to where they were. And all of that schooling I was pursuing, it was because of that idea, that self-limiting belief that was imposed on me by growing up. And I don't ever mean to say that in like a negative sense. It's just like literally the reality of, like your parents, whatever they're exposed to is, pretty much based on what their parents were exposed to, et cetera, et cetera. And I just feel like I want you guys to look a little bit at this present path you're walking down from like this really oblique angle, or like take on a multifaceted view and just do a little looking and reading and investigating about like how other people have gone about what you want to go after. Okay. Then for others of you where this is less about career, sorry, it like kind of shifted in that direction, and this is more about like overarching life purpose, it's definitely a lot looser than you think it to be. I was someone who was like obsessed with life purpose, you guys. Obsessed. It was like my thing. And the reality is, it's not like perfectly clear to me, but it's a lot more clear than it has been in the last like 6 years of me investigating it. It's really loose, It's kind of like a very overarching sense. When it comes down to life purpose, it's really like a lot less rigid. It's not like a thing you do. It's like your life purpose is to be a singer. No, it's more like to bring sweetness to people. Do you see how that gives you so many more options? That's kind of the energy that's coming through. It's this idea of like, if you're here to bring sweetness to people, well, sure, singing absolutely can do that. But like, what if literally sweetness was like creative writing? Right? Or what if sweetness was fashion, where you design like really cool garments? That brings a sweetness to life because it breaks up the mundane, the monotony. Instead of just wearing the same thing over and over again, you could wear something that you designed or fashion, or just have access to that music, that fashion, that creative novel. It kind of like, I wish someone told me this, basically, is what's coming through. I wish that, and then I feel like this is the best message for pile 1 too, is just kind of like think outside the box, like use sort of like an oblique angle to go after this. I'm seeing like for some reason this gymnast like tackle a mat, and it's like if you do it the same way over and over again, it kind of creates like a wall, because you have to like force. Oh, this is so cool, you guys. You're like forcing yourself to go down this path that's beaten and trodden on. But like, what if you came and you have like such an affinity that you don't even know about to go about this other angle, right? What if like there's something about your unique soul that's like better off like taking a walking start instead of a running start? I hope this information is coming through. It's very interesting in my mind, but I'm an Aquarius, so it kind of gets like perfectly illustrated in my mind, then I have to pull it out before something else moves in, which is like, anyways. So what I'm seeing is just like going about this from a very much a way that is you, that is not rigid, and it's certainly like thinking about it in a way that has not so much to do with what's been told before, but what feels natural to you. I'm just seeing you like doing a little bit of experimenting. Right? Think about the people who were like first making photographs. Okay, sorry to always bring it back to photography, but I know a lot about it. I went in a master's program about it. So they had to do a lot of experimenting with chemicals in order to get the image to be fixed onto the paper. And this one time, you could have just like accidentally spilled a little bit of silver into the emulsion bath, and boom, it happened to create something. That's kind of the energy I want pile 1 to work with. Sorry to like draw this message out so long. It feels like very true, very right. Cool. So let's see what else I want to do. You guys, I kind of want to go in like a slightly spiritual direction. All those cards back and move this deck. Okay, let's go like full on spiritual. I want to move with this Rebecca Campbell deck, and actually I'm going to have like the tiniest little sip of coffee. Okay, guys, I've just like started this week I have an espresso machine. I put a little bit of pumpkin spice on top of the ground coffee before I put it in the espresso machine, and it's been giving me exactly the vibe that I want for fall. I don't know. I've really been feeling fall this year. I'm from the East Coast, and so when I moved to California, it was like not at all weather that I was used to because it's like perpetually sunny. And this year is the first year that I actually can sense the shift in weather. It's very subtle, but there is a shift, and that's literally like the message I'm trying to get across. I'm still stuck on that first message for you guys because it feels very advanced coming through, or very cool. Like it's really good. It's like liquid luck is how it's like. Sorry, guys. So much going on in my mind. It's like we just need to have this tiniest little shift in order to free yourself, right? I kind of want you to like free yourself from the way you're going about this life purpose of yours, okay? But I said I was going to take this in a spiritual direction. This could piggyback, or this could go in a totally different direction. So could I please have, Spirit, can I please have, this is a message for pile 1. What do you guys think? Top or bottom? I feel like bottom. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. You guys, let's take the top one too. And then trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Okay, let's work first with this get grounded. Okay, this empaths, highly sensitive card. What I'm picking up on first is just simply going out into nature. I feel like not many of us have been spending enough time in nature because we're really putting a lot of energy into figuring out what that Eight of Swords was about for each of us. And I really feel like the more we try to connect with nature, because I was just going on that tangent about seasons and actually being able to sense that subtle shift. I feel like because I think you guys are empathic in nature, you're highly sensitive, probably some of you are star seeds as well. I get that with this card. What I'm sensing is that I feel like you guys like literally need to get your hands dirty out in the dirt or get outside in order for your body to be able to sense the shifts in seasons right now. I feel like this shift is going to be really helpful for you. Sorry. Got a closure on my throat there, which means it's either an accurate message or my guide is stepping into my body. That's a message for some of you who want to learn how to channel. If you feel like a sensation in your throat, or oftentimes actually mine feels a lot more like a heat around my solar plexus or my lower back, that's usually when your guide is stepping in to help you. What was I saying? I was talking about this necessity to sense the seasons changing. This is really important to pile 1 because it has something to do with your body in a much more complex way that I'm going to be able to articulate. It's like it does things to like the human aspect of you, like the animal human aspect of you, where sensing this change in the seasons by going outside and smelling the smells, like, feeling the dirt, sensing the crackling leaves, but also the dampness and kind of like the change of season is really important to pile 1 right now. This, of course, is more spiritual in nature. What else about this? Yeah, it's going to do something grounding for you, and it's going to help you with that Eight of Swords moment. Yeah, we do keep going back to that. Where is that card? Okay. This is like medicine I'm hearing for this Eight of Swords, which is a little bit different for each of us. Kind of everything we've been talking about, though. Yeah, so that's that first message. It's connect with nature, but deeper than that, it's because it's like it does something like healing for you. I'm seeing just like sparkles on you, and this lower energy. It's like being out in nature, these sparkles like touch that lower energy that's in your aura right now that I see as kind of like smokiness for some of you. It's not all of you, and it's not a bad thing either. We all have all sorts of different colors in our aura, but I'm seeing these sparkles, coming from nature and like the spirit of nature itself, kind of like dissolving this grayness, this confusion. It's just going to give you a lot more just like awareness. It's going to give you that kind of like just that subtle shift I'm sensing right here. Because remember, this is like toilet paper, right? You would literally just have to barely shift and you would free yourself from these binds that are trapping you. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Yeah, it's definitely this energy right here. Okay, and I think we kind of like essentially covered that. Cool. let's put, a little bit of earth magic on this. And then I do want to touch on the most significant relationship. So if you're waiting for something to do with love, let's do that at the end. Okay. Can I just have one more card, please? It's going to be from this Earth Magic deck. You guys, one thing I've been doing recently is really just evaluating. Oh, cool. I love that. That's exactly what I was trying to get after. I've been evaluating how I go about doing my readings. I think some of you are tarot readers. And I used to read for myself before I even ever discovered that this was a YouTube thing. I mean, for years, let's see, from 2017 to 2020, I would read my own tarot cards. I had no clue that it was this big of a thing on the internet, and then just recently figured out that it was a big deal and that people do this on the internet. And I started to think about how I used to shuffle cards and what feels natural to me. And this once in a while, yes, especially if I'm in a really deep channeling state, but I'm trying to be less deep in the channeling for these readings because it feels like I link up with just one individual when I do that, and I kind of want to pull myself up. I don't know why I'm sharing so much with you guys today. But what I feel is more me is this. This really slow, moving the cards because you actually feel it. And then my fingers will flick out a card, kind of like this one that came out. So what I'm sensing is really beautiful with this childhood and innocence card. I had a real epiphany a couple weeks ago when I read for myself and this card came out and I finally understood what it meant. It's actually kind of, one of the most magical cards that really could come out. And what it talks about is recapturing the beginner's mindset. Oh my God, this is so synchronistic, you guys. The beginner's mindset, the way you are before the world imposed its limitations on you. And again, these limitations, it's not necessarily negative, but it's negative in the sense that it only gives you certain tools. You've only been exposed to certain ways of doing things. It's that message that is coming full circle from the beginning that I wish that schools and modern school systems would teach people how to go about careers in a way that wasn't routine, that wasn't standardized. I took the SATs. I did very well in literature. I did really, really bad in math, really bad. I don't care. I'll just tell you. I got a 300, I think. And then my parents, was that's not okay. You need to go to college, la, 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 la. And so I retook the math portion, but it was after I purchased the Princeton Review for SAT math. Do you know what I did? It's so depressing. I would read that book before bed every night. And I read it through twice. But do you know what happened? I went from a 250 to a 650, which is something way higher than I would ever expect out of myself with math. What? No one should ever be able to increase their score that much, which just shows you such a flaw in the school systems or doing things from a standardized point of view. It had nothing to do with my skill set. It had nothing to do with math and everything to do with SAT math. It was something I just wasn't taught in the school that I was doing. And it's kind of that message is for you guys. I want you guys to be able to remove yourself from any of the ways that you have been going about life that just haven't been working because it feels like you're comparing your success to other people's ways of going about something, but you have your own unique way if you could be able to clear away these limitations that have been imposed upon you. If you could clear away this tissue paper, because that's all it is. Because the mindset that you've just been given from growing up is just something you've been using right now to navigate your life. But what if you were able to go out there and find your own way, right? Through studying, through asking people. What if you were able to find your own way to do that? That is just as gentle as, being bound up by tissue paper. You just don't have to use that anymore. You can go about life without these blinders on, without limitations, because you're kind of experimenting a bit and trying to figure out what works for you. What is the way that you are going to make this dream of yours a success, this life path of yours work for you in a way that it doesn't feel like it takes from your energy? I feel like our life purpose has everything to do with something we do naturally, have an infinity for, ignites our body, mind, spirit, soul, and it's not something that it should just not take from you when we're really in the right path, okay? This childhood innocence card, I really like to see it falling over this trust the niggling card. Kind of look at all like the darkness here, the storm clouds, and it's raining. You can check out the top of this card here as well. And there's all these storm clouds, there's lightning coming in, so an epiphany. I think this happens, it helps, to get grounded right now, to sense the changing seasons. I'm getting that this epiphany comes. And the clouds are parting and the sunlight is hitting you. And it feels like you are reawakening. I feel like this is a little bit you in the future, okay, as you walk down towards this path. I like to see that you guys are getting into nature, away from the castle here, out into nature, getting grounded, because it's going to be really good for your soul. It is, I'm seeing it again as like being in nature dissolves a little bit the sludge that's been accumulating in your aura, and it's simply like we're giving you like a fresh perspective, like a new pair of glasses, or it's something along these lines. Childhood with innocence. This card is all about having beginner's mindset, having access to the you that is beneath everything that has been taught. We just have to go through this process of like forgetting how you were told to go about something, which is really difficult to do, but definitely not impossible, and super, super empowering and freeing. It's like, try something little first, right? Something that you do normally, the way you go about it is a way that you were taught before, and then try to change it up. And for some reason, and it's kind of a lame example, I'm seeing like a gym workout. I used to be someone who would like go 5 days a week, no matter what, for like a really long time. And then I realized like I wasn't really feeling well. Like I was just exhausted all the time, and it's because I wasn't giving myself enough rest. But, that's the first way I was taught to work out and to exercise, is to maintain it. 5 days a week, take 2 days off, and then go on again. But the reality is I work much better by shifting, the weight of the exercise program I'm doing and taking a day off after 3 days. Going for 3 days, taking a day off after that third day. And it's that subtle shift that suddenly freed me, I feel a lot stronger than I've ever been, feel a lot healthier, and it feels sustainable too. So this is really, really cool, you guys. I hope that you liked this message. It feels, just pretty, just nice. I hope you guys are having a great fall. And if you liked this video, or if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. And no matter where you are in the world, whether that's day or night, until next time, stay divine. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. I think we're going to take a look at a couple different lenses. And honestly, you know what? I think I want to shift things up. I think what we're going to focus on for Pile 2, you know what we're going to do? I want to know what makes you beautiful. We're going to go and take a look at some other lenses. I don't want to pick them right now. I kind of want to let your reading flow a little bit organically. So this is going to be what makes Pile 2 beautiful. Let's just take them as they come. Oh my gosh. Okay, well now it's very easy. It's very easy to see what makes Pile 2 beautiful. You guys have a way with emotions. Now, this can look like so many different things. I think that you guys also possess naturally heightened intuition. I'm just going to list them and then I'll go into more detail. So you guys have a way with words. You guys have a way with creativity. You have a way with expressing yourself. You have a way with capturing emotions and exuding emotions. You guys are definitely alluring. There's definitely something about you and your energy where you have an ability to get what you want. And this isn't through coercion. This is through just attracting it, or just simply being very attractive. The energy of this is someone who's an artist. And even if you're like, Zach, I'm not an artist. Okay, guys, there are other things that I listed. Work with me. This is what makes you beautiful, Pile 2. There's something about the way that you express yourself. This is like the words you choose. I think that you guys are are people who like to read, and so your vocabulary is very attractive. I think that the words you choose and your enunciation and your intonation, I think these things are very attractive to people, but I also just heard that this is not necessarily in your perception. I think that this is a remarkable card to be representing as far as beauty goes. I think that you guys also slip into intuitive states very easily. And so in conversation with people, you're able to pick up on what is not said and get to the heart of the matter. And so it's like the words you choose based on who you're talking to gives the most profound advice, or is exactly what that person you're talking to needed to hear in order to feel seen and heard. You guys have like this, oh, marvelous. Okay, it's coming through as you have a marvelous way of being someone who interacts with the world. And that's not supposed to sound clunky, because I feel like there are definitely people who go against the world. Like, this is not the Knight of Swords, for example. You're someone who knows how to go with the flow, knows how to flow with conversation. I think it's your voice and your expression of emotions that's very attractive to people. I'm hearing that you're not afraid to speak your mind, but it's like the way you do it is very nurturing. There's something about the way that you talk. I actually am hearing as well that it's just like the tonal quality of your voice. I think your voice is one of the most attractive things about you. I'm also hearing that you guys have a good phone voice, so I would not be surprised if you've heard before in your life like, oh, you sound great over the phone, or you should do a podcast, or something along these lines. I don't want you to take your creative talent for granted, because I'm hearing that some of you are like, I'm not an artist. I actually don't agree with you. And not because I'm trying to be facetious. I'm literally just coming from more of a kind of like a higher mind perspective for pile 2 right now. It's like your purpose as a human on Earth, it is in your DNA makeup to be someone who is creative. And so if you're one of the few people in here who isn't in touch with their artistic abilities, I just think that this is the biggest green light and invitation for you to explore something creative in nature and try to let your mind flow a little bit. Like, don't box yourself in with like painting or drawing. Those are just very kind of like more commonplace creative abilities. Think about fibers. You guys could be, people who work with like needlepoint or even flower arranging. There's something you're definitely here to do that is creative in nature. And I'm actually just hearing like, for the majority of you, you are in touch with this creative ability. It's that. You just know. I think that you guys are claircognizant as well. I think that people are empathic in nature, if I were to describe this King of Cups. And I think that people who just know how to work with emotions are probably a little bit more advanced as a soul. So I would not be surprised if a few of you consider yourself to be starseeds or empaths. Definitely empaths for the majority of you. I think something that's very attractive about you is this sensitive quality. I think that sensuality is something that you're very good at too. So the way that you dress, the way that your hair lays, the way that you pick out makeup, or the way that you express the way that you want to look as your identity. It's like these tiny touches. I'm seeing it as like, when someone's like, I just want to go for like a natural glow. That's what I'm seeing as like the essence of your soul is this very natural glow. And I think for the majority of people, it's not perceivable to them, but you just have this kind of like radiating energy. And it's because you flow with the universe. You're like in your body. And those qualities are not necessarily like physical features or attributes, but it is the essence of your soul. And because you're so intuitive and in touch with yourself and in touch with the emotions, in touch with emotions in this 3D realm, in touch with your intuition as well, basically, it's just very attractive to people, and it's on an unconscious level, which is very interesting. I think it's in your consciousness because I see you sitting above the water, but there is such a depth to your soul. This creepy little fish over there, it's supposed to be a dolphin, and dolphins are very highly intelligent. So your emotional intelligence is parallel to none. These are all the things that I'm finding what make Pile 2 beautiful. Now, what I want to do, I have been again, drawn to look at these tiny messages. So I kind of just want to go a little bit deeper in this lens, and can I just get like maybe just a few? Okay. Curious. Okay, with this favorite card, I always think of it as like sunlight, okay? And I'm looking at this here, kind of this nature card, as your hair. So I think one of the most beautiful things about you, or at least it definitely has the potential to be, is your hair, right? It's kind of like the way it lays. I'm hearing that you have like this effortless beauty. That's probably why I was seeing kind of like that natural look for makeup. I'm seeing it as like you guys just have like a natural ability and affinity for your attraction. I also get that like you walk your walk, but you talk your talk too. That's what I'm getting from this black and white gold. Almost a gold card. Black and gold, that's a very regal combination. And you do have the King of Cups. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't see that till now. There is a regal presence to you, Pile 2. I think it is the way that you walk. It is the way that you express yourself. Interesting. Okay, I just saw it. It's the way that you hold your face. Like, I don't know. I think that you really convey to people that you're listening to them when they're talking to you. And this is very attractive. It's so much more than standard beauty or standardized beauties. It is definitely attractive to a soul when they are heard and felt. And this is like the most attractive thing about you. I'm hearing that you're like people's favorite person for this reason, because they understand that you are so authentic. You definitely have this quality of authenticity to you. I'm just seeing someone who's kind of like summery in nature. I would describe your soul to be summery. It's kind of like, it's not a breath of fresh air necessarily. It's like this bounty. It's like this hardiness is how it's coming through. I just see kind of like this person who's carrying like a bunch of wheat in their arms and has really long flowing hair. It doesn't have to be long for everyone, but I'm just looking at you as this person who's in like the prime of their health. These are the things that I find most attractive about you. I kind of do want just like one more tarot card because it's kind of like picking off here. Curious. That came out in pile 1. It was basically kind of like their entire reading. So I feel like you're someone who goes through glow ups, right? I'm picking up on that as well. You really know how to transform people. You have a way with your words and your way with your expression, the way that you interact with your environment and how that you create, you specifically, pile 2, the way that you create your finesse, your signature, whether this is move, hairstyle, style in general, the way that you speak, your signature is something that evolves over time. It's always fresh. It's always new. You have this like metamorphic personality. You're someone who can really fit in with anyone. And this is actually, I'm hearing, it's actually something that people are envious of. You're able to be malleable in your situation. You can really pick up on the currents of conversations, what's going on in the room, and you're able to adapt. I also really do feel like you have a serious level of truth serum to the quality of your voice or your advice. You really know how to you know how to free people. You know how to present a perspective, and you know how to sorry, I don't know why that keeps coming through. You know how to get people out of their head. There we go. Let me have a sip of coffee just for a second. You guys, I am like actually enjoying fall this year. I'm from New England, and for the first time, I've been here for like 3 years in Southern California. For the first time, I'm like really actually able to sense like the temperature change. It's very subtle. But I've been enjoying fall this year. I've started to sprinkle a little bit of pumpkin spice over my espresso before I brew it, and it's so good. Okay, so back to your reading. What do I want to do next? Do you know what I want to do? I want to look at what is the next step for your life purpose. So just give me a couple of seconds to clean out this energy and disconnect from that first message. And let's see. You know what? We're going to switch decks. I'm going to go for this one. This is going to be the next step for pile 2 in your life purpose. And you guys, I do want to pick up on the most significant relationship in your life, so stick around for that. But first I want to go through this. Guys, this is I was just telling pile 1 this. I'm trying to peel back the layers of exposure to tarot readings online that I have willingly subjected myself to. And I'm realizing that I sort of like have changed the way that I shuffle. It's not really my thing to do this, because this feels like playing cards. But when I'm working with an oracle, I think there must be tarot readers in here. You guys definitely have high intuition at the very least. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a psychic in here. Hello. But when I, were to do this feels like I'm about to deal a hand of cards and play like Egyptian rat screw or something like that. But when I'm working with an oracle or tarot, it actually is like this, because it feels like every card is like, I don't know. Did you just hear that kid outside? Sorry about that. I don't even know why I'm telling you guys this. Maybe I'm just trying to spend a little time until it feels well. It's really important to me, Pile 2, that we, on my channel at least, get a really accurate idea of what it looks like to be and act as a professional psychic. So there has to be people who are interested in psychic ability here, otherwise I wouldn't be drawn to this. When you see like someone on TV, all of the time that is spent thinking and receiving the message is it's cut out, and so it looks really instantaneous. For some people they do have more of an instantaneous approach with receiving their messages. It's actually a lot slower, I found out, for most people, but certainly myself. This is the next step for your life purpose. Oh my god. Of course, I would draw the life purpose card, the ascendant, your rising sign. This is something I don't know that all of you know about, and it took me a while to realize too. I really strongly identify with my sun sign because it is Aquarius in both sidereal and tropical. And I have just really always resonated with being an alien, probably because I'm absolutely a starseed. And I think there are starseeds in this group too. But what is more useful? I feel like the most useful sign, I don't really identify with my moon sign, sorry. Not to be someone who is, lacks emotion. Sorry. I identify a lot with the rising sign as far as it being like a compass in this lifetime, even more so than the North Node. So if you're someone, because we're looking at your life purpose right now, I'm not totally airheading right now, you guys, even though I'm definitely heavily ruled by air. If you're someone who's very curious about your life purpose, I think that you guys should investigate a little bit more, spend a little bit more time on researching your rising sign. There are all sorts of websites you can go to that'll calculate this for you, but spend a lot of time with your rising sign, because it's supposed to be, just based on my interpretation, it's just my opinion. I will say, though, that I have spent years and years, at least 6 years, trying to figure out my life purpose and what it means to have a life purpose. I'm picking up that it's really important for you guys to research your rising sign, because it's kind of like in it there are codes that are going to really click with you. These are the things that you should go after in this lifetime in order to be well-rounded, in order to feel sufficient or satisfied, okay? But look at this as well. I'm picking up on body image, okay? And your aura, your first impression. Look at this, likeness as well. It's very, very similar to that first message I was pulled to, which was, what makes you beautiful? You guys make a remarkable first expression. First expression, LOL. First impression. Yeah, and it is the way that you express yourself. It is the way that you compose yourself. You have this very regal way of walking and talking. The way you hold your body is very graceful. I'm just getting this idea that you guys walk through life with a lot of composure, and this is something that people really recognize. I'm seeing like you walking by and not noticing anyone look at you, but it is when you have walked past the people, it's when they turn their heads and study you. I'm seeing this so clearly. It's like you in the grocery store or in the gym or wherever you're going. It's like you have this regalness where They don't want to look at you in the face, but it's as soon as you walk by that they feel like it's okay to like take a note from you. And that's exactly what's coming through. It's like people take notes on your appearance or how you walk. It's just something that they want to emulate. They really, really want to emulate whatever it is that Pile 2 has. You guys have swagger, is how this is coming through. What else am I getting? So this is the next step for your life purpose. Okay. So we got that message out of the way with researching your rising sign. I think that something to do with your life purpose right now, it has to do with your physical appearance too. Okay, your outer self, the self that you present to the world. So if you guys are trying to like just be, using divine female energy, I sense that is really strong in you guys as well. The essence of just being in order to attract the future you desire to experience. I'm hearing that something that would really help you is if you incorporate this beingness into your appearance too. We need you to sort of shift. It's either what you're wearing, adorn yourself even more. We want you to tailor your aesthetic to fit this life purpose of yours that you sense, okay? I want you guys to be able to feel like you belong in your mind's eye in the role that you know you're supposed to be doing, okay? So you guys, if you feel like you're supposed to be a singer or to uplift people, what do you want to look like? What would if you were looking at yourself, how would you appear in order to feel really inspired when you looked at yourself, or uplifted, or just like, God, that person has a really good vibe. Like, I just really like this about them. This is coming through as something to do with your physical appearance, okay, you guys? Something to do with like your hair, the way that you wear your clothes. It's coming through as like you used to wear medium shirts, but now you're going to wear larges because it actually does something for your proportions. Yeah, we want you guys to like proportionize. There's a little bit of a subtle shift I'm picking up on when you, we just want to like refine your aesthetic. This isn't like wear more luxury items. This is more like wear something that is more authentic to you, like very specific to you. I'm hearing almost like you guys have niche taste and are a little bit trendsetters as well. Okay, so this is the next step for your life purpose, and I did say that I want to touch on like the most like significant relationship, okay? Okay, so I want to know, we're gonna pull some of these cards, okay? We're gonna pull some of these cards. I love this gigantic deck. I always try to show you guys on camera how big this is. This isn't even all of it. See, there are all these cards underneath here. I'm trying to come up with a way to show you how mammoth this deck is. Okay, so this significant person is either a crush of yours or has a crush on you. This person is thinking about you. This is your next connection. This could be your current connection. Anything along these lines. I really want to kind of talk about, this most significant relationship. Ecstasy. Wow. Okay. I think that I always stop myself when I talk about sex. I think that you guys have the most mind-blowing sex. I'm just going to say it. I think that but this also just describes you. You guys have like something about you that is like, it's, when Edward Cullen describes to Bella her scent, and it's like his own personal form of heroin, like, that is like you guys. You guys have like a signature scent. Oh, I'm hearing that was that message we were getting with this Outlook card. I feel like that finessing that we were talking about, I wonder if you guys don't have a signature scent. I think that your perfume, your cologne, whatever your scent is, that's like this last thing that we need you to have, or this thing that we want you to incorporate, because this scent is a sense of yours that you're not touching on that's going to bring you even more into your full glory, is what I'm hearing. Because there's something like really remarkable about you guys. It's like the quality of your soul. I'm not someone who cares at all about physical appearances. This is so much more interesting to me as far as attraction. You guys have this like real essence to you. This person, yeah. I'm hearing that when you guys are together, it is like ecstasy, or when you kiss, it is like ecstasy. Something about like your physical touch too is important. So let's keep that out. Maybe just kind of like go down here. This person could be younger than you, okay? Or there is like this quality of youth to this individual, younger, perhaps, not as advanced in their career is coming through as well. I am also hearing that they have a beginner's mindset. Yellow light. Okay, so things are like touch and go. They're not like fully developed. You guys aren't fully connected yet. Or you guys are in this kind of like energy right now where you don't really know where to make a move. Okay? We don't really know the full extent of how to express yourself with this person. That was a channeled message. Okay? So what does that mean? You guys don't know how to be the full expression of yourself with this person, or they are a little bit struggling with revealing themselves as well. Is this how this is coming through? I want one more card, but then I want to go in a little bit deeper. Is it you? Total flirt, yeah. Okay, this person is a total flirt. Whoever is thinking about you, whoever this connection is, it's going to look a little bit different for everyone, okay? I'm not reading this yellow light as caution. I'm reading it as kind of this energy, as the energy of a page. And the page that I'm seeing is actually the Page of Pentacles, which is kind of like the better page in my mind. They're definitely a grounded individual, know who they are, otherwise you wouldn't be spending any time with them, okay? I'm also getting that this relationship is at the crush phase. So let's get even deeper here, okay? Let's go with... I love to go with this romance deck. It's kind of hit or miss for me, you guys. And I kind of want to go with something about, like, physical attributes. I want to describe this person for you guys a little bit better. This is for a pile 2, please. Who is this most significant connection? Who is this most significant connection? Oh my god, you guys. Flirtation, falling out over total flirt. We also have the number 9 of success. There is definitely someone who is very attracted to you. You know what? You're reading. I asked, like, what makes you beautiful? You guys are in, like, the Empress stage of your life right now. You guys are definitely experiencing a glow up, or this is what I see you experiencing. Remember that message of scent? You see all these flowers in the air? It's kind of making me think of perfume. Right? And you see this aura about this individual. I'm identifying you as this figure here. Gender is totally irrelevant with tarot and me, by the way. But you see how there's this yellowness? Oh, shut up. Oh my god. Look at that. Wow. That's synchronistic. Oh, you make this person nervous. That's why. You make this person nervous. They don't know how to make a move with you because, yep, you have that regalness to you. You have this way of life. You see how this person's walking or standing here with contrapposto? It talks about like this like very kind of flowy way, this finesse. You guys just have like probably a dancer body, or you guys are very graceful. The way you move is coming through as well. I know I'm describing kind of you again instead of this person, so they could be a singer, right? I did touch on singing earlier. But yeah, one last comment about this, these flowers. It's your scent, right? I'm feeling like there's something about your scent right now that we want to adopt or adapt is how it's coming through. Now, I see you being very confident with wearing very little. This doesn't have to be you, but I'm seeing that as like a little bit of a red flag to this person. They're very set off by you because they don't know that they're at your level. That's cool. Sorry, like... It's always so bizarre to interact on camera because I channel and I respond to the information because I know I'm communicating with my guides. But I'm also like, oh wait, there are people here, kind of. So yeah, it's something about like you kind of are like this walking yellow light. And again, that's not bad, but it means complicated or mysterious, or there's something about you that doesn't necessarily readily read as approachable, but it's not because you exude negative energy. You're not a red light. It's just that they question themselves. They don't know whether they can make it through the light or not, right? You know, when you approach a yellow light, you can either put on the brakes or you have to you put on the gas. It's one or the other. It's not smooth sailing because you're probably not going to be able to make it through. You either have to go or stop. And this person that is thinking about you is in this energy too. Cool. Really cool. They could be a singer, okay? They could have blonde hair as well. I'm hearing that they don't really like to show their skin a lot, so this person could wear a lot of kind of like long sleeves or a hat. They definitely have like a hat about them, or something to do with like the way that they cover their body is important, okay? What else? You guys might meet outside, or that's where you usually see this person, is like in crossing outside. That's just for some of you. What else? Venus in Sagittarius. This person's very intelligent, okay? They like to study. They like to travel. I'm hearing that this person could actually be a distance relationship. You have a crush online. This could be a confirmation for you as well. All right, well, you guys, I do think that these are all the messages that are coming through. I'm sorry we went a little bit long. I really enjoyed your reading. I hope you liked it too. If you did, or if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that wherever you are in the world, day or night, until next time, stay divine. Hey, Pile 3, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. I'm going to do your reading through a couple different lenses, and you know what? I set the tarot cards out, and I actually want to do some tiny messages. So we're going to do some tiny messages, take on a couple different lenses. One of them is going to be the most significant relationship in your life right now, whether that's a crush or anything in between. So let me just, draw some of these and stick around for love if that's you. That's towards the end. This is for Pile 3. It feels like kind of like these guys. Okay, a lot of green. Let's see. Okay, kind of looking at this as more of like an emphasis on nature, getting outside, getting grounded. Let's pull all these cards out though before I do any work. Proof, window, more than meets the eye, agile, and Hollywood. Curious. Okay, so things are not as they seem. There's definitely this looking at something through rose-tinted glasses. Okay. Oh, put in the hours. That was another one. Okay. Okay, you guys, what I'm picking up on is that you're thinking that what you're building or where you're at in your life should be much further along than where you presently are. And I just want to shake that up. I just want to shake that up because I don't want you guys comparing yourself, even though it feels like what you've been building has been taking a long time, even though it feels like you're really at the threshold of somewhere new. What I feel like is we really want to take your mind off of this, okay? We want to take your mind off this because it's kind of like working against you right now. We really want to focus on, I don't know why this is like coming through, but it is. It's like we want to get you like out in the countryside, or focus on your home, focus on where things are harmonious right now in your life, okay? I'm also getting another message that has to do with manifestation or magic, okay? I'm going to set this Queen of Wands over here. Things are looking a little scrambly, but that's okay. So with this, like, put in the hours and agile says to be flexible. So what I feel like is the most important message right now is this thing that you're building, this new job that you have, this new relationship, this thing that we want to talk about most, or at least first with Pile 3. We want you to look at it through a little bit more of an optimistic lens, and this is going to help you. Like, this is literally for you. This isn't to sort of like kind of like look again through, rose-tinted glasses. This is going to help you is what I'm hearing. This idea of not being so strict with yourself, not being so caged in, not thinking that things are supposed to happen at a set time, because why? Like, why would things happen because they happen to Randall? Who the F is Randall? I don't know why, but that name came through. Why would things happen on Randall's timetable compared to your timetable? Like, your unique set of experiences are your own, and yours alone is also what I'm hearing. So, the work that you're doing is going to look and manifest differently, especially if it has to do with time, or if you guys are really focused on time right now. When I see put in the hours, it's falling over this, these flowers here, these beautiful wildflowers. I love to see them. And what I'm picking up is that those flowers take a long time to grow, right? When you plant seeds, you don't pull them out of the ground to see if they've sprouted, right? You just have a little bit more patience. You water them, and I'm getting that there's this energy for pile 3 that you just need to show up and put in the hours right now, because that is going to reveal, right? The proof is in the pudding is what's coming through, okay? So you just have to put in the hours. It's going to be, oh my God, there's proof, okay? Proof is literally in the pudding or is in the window. Okay, so the window is like how you're looking at this situation, right? And we want to make sure that the window that you're perceiving your reality in is a clear window, or it is your window is how this is coming through. We don't want you to compare yourself to like some Hollywood glamorized view of the world, because I don't know if you guys have actually ever been to Los Angeles. I have many times. And let me tell you, there is nothing glamorous about Southern California. Not trying to hate on the place, but girl, this entire idea of white picket fence, at least here in America, I know I have viewers outside of the States, but Los Angeles, Hollywood, Beverly Hills is actually quite literally not beautiful. Actually, Beverly Hills is a little bit better, but compared to my opinion of what's nice, it's not. I don't like such claustrophobia, right? We want you guys to also not feel claustrophobic at this time. We want you to experience a breath of fresh air. But I'm just getting this idea again of things not being as they are, or we're perceiving them through a little bit of a warped lens, right? I feel like you're looking for proof. And if you're someone who's looking for proof, if you had to distill that notion, that idea, what it actually says is you're doubting yourself, right? If you stood in your authentic power and called into being whatever this is, a job, raise, relationship, more money, something along these lines, if you actually were confident, you wouldn't question why it hasn't showed up yet, because you would be working with divine timing, and the reality of it not showing up yet or being manifested fully yet is that it isn't in divine timing, or there's a vibration that we need to shift. I'm getting that we need to shift our vibration, and this is a message for pile 3. We need to shift our vibration to be much more uplifted. I want you guys somehow to be goofy, right? The word goofy is coming through. We want pile 3 to somehow be goofy, because I feel like a little bit you're getting stuck in the daily plod, right? Oh, and I just got 2 dings. That's the message. The daily plod, the mundane, the 9 to 5, putting in the shift work, or just the dotting of the I's, the crossing of the T's, the plodding along, I think, is lowering your vibration. And this is a really important message for pile 3. We need you guys to raise your vibration right now. That's really what this card says to me. I look at it as kind of like a scale, like a music scale, and those cups as notes, and they're in harmony, right? You got a beautiful rainbow going on, and it feels like these people could be singing, right? And so it feels like singing, doing something goofy, dancing. We really want you guys to raise your vibration. Another way to raise the vibration is that first message that I heard, which was to get into nature, right? Try to make an escape into nature. This looks like an Airbnb to me, right? I also love to see these flowers going on right here. Actually, if you look at these 3 scenes together, you looked at it as if it were a triptych. That's beautiful. It feels very, very nurturing to the soul. Very relaxing. So you might go find yourself by a body of water and see if that would be soothing for you. Some of you could just take salt baths. Some of you actually really do need to take salt baths to scrub off your energy, especially those of you who work with magic and have tried to manifest something using magic right now. I'm getting that the magic is not necessarily going to be helpful. It can absolutely grease the wheels, right? But what I'm getting is at the heart of your reading we have right here is the put in hours, right? And then it's underscored by agile. So we want you to have a little bit of flexibility right now. And it's almost not necessarily with your schedule, but it's with your mind, right? we want you to be a little bit flexible because you need to reach a different perspective, right? I'm getting the difference of perspective here because we're up on a hillcock with this Page of Swords. And then over here, we have this interesting perspective where these people look quite small or quite large because they appear to be the same size as the rainbow. So either this is a miniature or this is, gigantic. So there's something to do with perspective, and a perspective shift is going to be super helpful. With More Than Meets the Eye, Falling Over Hollywood, I just think that's literally so funny. It's literally calling out to me like, girl, this is what, it's almost, okay, that's the message. Make sure that what you're going after, it's like an accurate picture of you, like your soul, right? We want this to be a picture of genuine desire, not going with the flow. I'm seeing a bunch of salmon going upstream, and I just want to make sure that you're not caught in the rat race. I want to make sure that this thing that you're going after, you're not stuck in hustle culture. You're going after something very authentic to you, and make sure that what you're going after, again, it doesn't have anything to do with building status or trying to compare yourself to someone else or compare your progress to someone else. It's really important that you can pull yourself away from that. Right now, my guides is kind of reeling me back in. We really need to underscore this message as much as I liked the other messages we're touching on. We really need to underscore the fact that it's got to be authentic to you, and we can't be going after something for the sake of just achieving fame, for example, fame or notoriety. You can absolutely have that, but if you're just going after fame for fame's sake and you wanted to be famous, so you decided to be a singer or an actor, what if you sensed as a soul you were supposed to be in the public eye, right? But it's actually something that doesn't have anything to do with singing or being on center stage. Rather, it is that you're a creative writer, right? Or rather, it is that you have a podcast that's, very popular. It's the idea of success being something that's a little bit more authentic to you. Okay? So also, one card that did, I've been leaving it off camera, is this Four of Pentacles, which to me says it's like we've been holding on a little too tight, right? For others of you, kind of like the future for your finances, if I could just take a look at that. It says don't, spend too much money right now. I don't see things dramatically changing for the better, and definitely not for the worse. Just hold on to what you have right now. But I'm also it's like, falling over More Than Meets the Eye with Hollywood, and the Pentacles talk about talents, and he's holding this one right here very close to the chest, right? He's definitely got two abilities underneath each foot, and he's holding on to those, right? But there's one that he's not aware of. He cannot see this one up here, this one that he's crowned himself with. That one is out of reach because he's holding on so tight to this other talent of his, this other pentacle of his, and he's trying to make that, not leave his arms. Try to let that be the big one, the most successful one. I'm hearing you guys, there's a hidden talent, and I'm getting that. It needs and is required of you in order to perceive this, in order for you to learn what this is. We got to move into nature. We got to get out of our head. We have to raise our vibration. Okay. And then for some of you, actually, it's falling out, over this put in hours and agile as well. What I'm hearing is that the more that you dedicate to the task, the more that it reveals the genius within. So think of a big block of marble. Right now, he's sitting on a big block of marble or cement, whatever that is. Inside that block is some beautiful creation. For some reason, I'm seeing a cat. So if you guys have cats, it's a hello from your cat. Oh, there's another cat over here too. But right now on the outside, it just looks like a block of marble. But there's that genius that lies within, right? You have to carve away that marble bit by bit. So put in the hours is coming through again in order to reveal what's in there. But again, it's that idea. What is that other special ingredient, right? You have to think of it being a cat first in order for that marble to take shape, in order for you to know what to chip off next, right? This almost feels a little bit like what is the next step in your life purpose, kind of. And I feel like this has to do with a perspective shift, getting very grounded and raising your vibration. We really want you to be in a higher vibration where you're definitely not jaded, where you're definitely not looking at things through rose-tinted glasses either. We want you to perceive things as they are, and it's almost like we need you to believe in yourself a little bit more as well. We need you guys to be a little bit more perceptive of your natural talents and affinities and make those dance on center stage, right? Instead of the things that we're going after because we've been in the stream, the rat race, things of that nature. Yeah, that's another just, don't be looking for proof, right? Because again, that tells yourself subconsciously that it doesn't exist or that you doubt yourself or you fear that it's not going to come into being. So just know with your whole entire beingness that you are fully capable of manifesting this desire as long as you just hold on to it, keep it in your mind's eye, and bring your vibration to that level. It's a lot harder than it is to say. Harder to do than it is to say. Okay, so where do I want to go next with you guys? You know what I want to do? Because I feel like there's something that you guys are manifesting or moving towards. I kind of want to look at like some signs and symbols to keep an eye on, to be on the lookout for. So just give me a couple seconds. Okay, you guys, so let's look at some signs and symbols that are going to be showing up that are either, messages from your guides that you guys need to look up on your own. Okay, the first one popped out. Generosity. Okay, so what this tells me, I love to see this, okay? What this actually tells me is that hard work that you're putting in is going to be rewarded. You guys are going to be able to see the proof, right? I just keep, getting this idea of just hard work. Sorry, I'm being distracted. I'm trying to find that one card for you where it was, there we go. I said put in the hours, right? To work with Saturn, right? Saturn in Leo. Okay, so it's like very hard work, but a lot gained from this, okay? I also think that gold stars and palm trees are very significant to you. Palm trees, to me, talk about paper, so that talks about wisdom, okay? But it also is like an oasis, too, right? A palm tree in the desert is an oasis, and it shows you that there is water underneath the surface, right? It is the proof that there is something there. God, that's really interesting. That's a really important message that keeps coming through. That idea of something being hidden in the block of marble, but it is your mind that is required in order to picture this desire first, right? Remember, we saw like a cat inside a block of marble, but you have to think of it being a cat first before that marble can take shape. That message is going to be different for each one of you. I want you guys to kind of interpret that because I don't know that I'm doing the very best job of describing that. Okay, what else am I seeing as far as signs? Is there going to be signs, synchronicities, symbols? Can I get another one for pile? Okay. Again, the emphasis on palm trees, you guys. What else? This is for pile 3. You guys, I don't really like this lens. I gotta be honest with you. This is not my favorite lens. So just take whatever that was. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna pick up on a spiritual lens for you guys. Okay, this is for pile 3, please. Why is pile 3 here? Why is it that pile 3 is here? Okay. Let's kind of just like do this. I like you. Play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. This talks about really up-leveling your vibration, right? It also really talks about a decided shift away from what you're focusing on, okay? So if you guys have not, had a drink out with your friends in a while, made a fancy drink at home for yourself, that's being, this is where we want to focus a lot of our attention on. This idea of celebrate, right? That looks a lot like this 10 of Cups. A celebration, I'm hearing the word jubilee, okay? We want to bring your vibration up because it feels like you're so close. You have been putting in the hours. That was that card from, it looked like, Zeus. That Saturn card, I can't find it, it's okay. But what I'm hearing is that it's like you're so close to the end, you're almost forcing this into being, and as a result, it's blocking it, right? That proof card is haunting me, you guys. This idea of needing to prove that it exists. There are all sorts of things that exist that we can't see, like gravity, right? You can't see gravity, and that's an important message. Let's get like another card for pile 3. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided, okay? So listen to every word that I'm saying is what this is telling me, okay? But seriously, right? I really feel like you're on the right track. You have nothing to worry about, okay? I want to go in a slightly different lens. I'm going to pull these cards off camera. Your reading is like very, I don't know. I like it. I also totally changed cameras for your reading. I don't know if you can, if you want to like look back at pile 1 or 2. This is like the look I was actually going for. So don't be afraid to experiment, right? Okay, these cards came on the floor. Oh my god, right. Okay, this is why you came here, right? It's so interesting because the reading I did earlier this week, pile 4, had this very exact tone that I have right now. And it is like, there is nothing on my mind that has any doubt or worry for you guys. This almost feels like you don't need this... you definitely need this advice, but it's like, you know this already. That's what I meant to say. You already know what we're talking about, and it's just kind of like a reminder. So this idea of perspective, right? And also passion. So making sure that this is genuine. Once you get this idea, once you get the vision for that cat inside the marble, then you can go after it full force. But we don't want you to look at something through Hollywood rose-tinted glasses. We don't want you to go after the thing. We want you, you know, for example, you want to be a famous writer. Are you looking to become a famous writer, or do you want the money after being famous? If it's money, then going after and trying to become a writer is going to be very difficult for you, right? That's a really crucial message for pile 3. And I know this is nothing like new, fandangled, sparkly, but this is really nourishing to your soul. It's kind of what your soul is urging you to understand is kind of what I'm getting, all right? I feel like some of you are star seeds with this Milky Way in perspective card, and so the 3D Earth is very difficult for us. It is not necessarily our friend. It's not very easy to work with. So it's really, really even more important for star seeds and extra sensitives and empaths to go after something that is genuine. Not that you genuinely think of in a superficial ego sense, ego in the sense that, like, not egotistical, okay, we all need our egos. You have to have an ego, okay? It is the essence of what drives you forward. It's basically like your compass in combination with your spirit, your personality. But you have to have something that really resonates with your soul in order to be able to go the whole distance, is how this is coming through, okay? I kind of want to go and just, you know, keep throwing some little cards on here. He's just not that into you. I feel like this thing you're going after, it's like a near miss. And I don't want to, like, it's either the way you're going after it or it's the target you've identified. Okay? Come on, what else? Scar or birthmark. Okay, playing with fire kind of thing going on right here. Okay, can I have like one more? Barista. Sometimes you gotta have jobs that pay the bills, right? But also do not let that be the perspective that you take away from this reading. I hate that perspective. And another message that is coming through, though, is that it is kind of necessary in this day and age to have just that thing that kind of greases the wheels, right? Part of being on the 3D Earth is having this income, this source of income, until you're able to get whatever business you really want off the ground in order for that to help you, okay? I feel like we just have to have a little bit of a different perspective, and this is too complicated to relay because this is a general reading. So it's like this perspective shift, I can't spell it out, and that's probably why I'm reading like this. I can't spell it out because it's too crucial for each one of you, and you have to do this work on your own. But it's also that message that I was getting, which is that I don't have any doubt that you guys aren't capable of doing this. You are fully capable of figuring out what this is. This little bit of magic you need to work with in order to reach a perspective that helps you instead of hinders you. This is literally just to help you. It's almost like an arrow has to be pulled back before it shoots forward and hits its mark, right? You can't just like expect it to be like, what's it called? Oh my god, it starts with a P. I'm just going to say launched, though. You can't expect it to launch itself. It's like through that process of being pulled back a bit that it gains enough momentum and power in order to hit the mark. I'm looking at this, perspective as a bullseye, right? We want to make sure that you get all of the way there. What else do we want to talk to pile 3 about, please? Yeah, falling over the passion, to me this is like a one-night stand. Okay, it does definitely to me talk about a connection here. Oh, a connection. Sorry, this card is like lost on the floor, you guys. There we go. 3 of Swords. Guys, it doesn't say heartbreak to me at all. It says that you're using logic to doctor an emotional situation. Yeah, you guys are definitely very sensitive. I also feel like you definitely are worth more than the relationship you're settling with, if this is someone who is settling, okay? But I'm also, again, seeing this particularly valuable chalice. Yeah, the second I said that, I do the 6 of Wands. So this gift that you came into this world to share with other people, it has something to do with coming in and divine timing. You're going to be unexpected when this takes off, is how this is coming through. Okay, you definitely came here to share something very, very valuable. We need you guys to get into nature in order to perceive this, okay? I do see the Wheel of Fortune spinning in your favor. I'm also picking up on magic again. This is a circle drawn. I'm picking up on the Milky Way and perspective. Okay, I think that you guys, if you work with magic, it might be useful right now. What else am I getting, Spirit? It does feel like this Queen of Cups, it kind of feels like the relationship that you desire, but the Page of Wands is kind of where we are at right now. I drew the King of Pentacles. Okay. Slow and steady growth and patience. That's the big overarching message, okay? This is your future, okay? The Wheel of Fortune says destiny. What are you destined for? The King of Pentacles. You are destined to experience wealth in this lifetime. All right, you're getting a message here soon. There's definitely some energy coming in to help shift the Wheel of Fortune in your favor. Have patience, pile 3. You have to have patience. Those grapes on those vines did not manifest overnight. They had to be planted, right? It's that idea of not pulling out the seeds again to see if anything had grown. You just water it and you have patience. You have patience because this is coming. It is manifesting. Again, I don't have any doubt with you guys, but there is a little bit of a burden you need to let go of, right? There's something that's blocking your vision right now. You just need to be able to put the work down in order to reach a perspective shift or reach a different perspective about the work that you're putting in, okay? Because I get that there are opportunities to move forward, coming forward for you guys, okay? This future that you're dreaming into being, we want you to go after it as if you were a kid again, right? Without all these preconceived notions about how it's supposed to manifest and how it's going to arrive for you. I'm getting that there's a little bit of serendipity at work, right? There's a little bit of surprise. What else? Can I just draw a romance card? Were we talking about romance? Spirit, can I please have that? I did see the passion card. Nope, I knew it. Finances and career. I have a love-hate relationship with this deck. I know when it's supposed to not be about love, and this card will always come out to say so. So we're just talking about finances and career for pile 3, right? A little bit of a perspective shift needs to happen in order to free up a little bit of energy. This is not a big deal. This is that message keeps coming through. This is to help you, pile 3. We're not doing anything to take anything away from you. We definitely don't want to prevent anything from manifesting. We want you to be able to go the whole distance, and so there's something about a breath of fresh air that needs to be breathed into the current situation so that you can go the whole distance. So this will manifest for you. So you can identify this thing that is true and not just a Hollywood vision in your mind. Where else can I have? I just want to crack just a different tarot deck just to get a final, a parting word, final message. I just said final. Okay. This is for pile 3, please. Page of Cups again. Okay, playfulness, right? So this energy of being young at heart, going after this thing like a kid again, right? I always look at this 3 of Wands as kind of like me in my youth. Just looks, what else? Five of Wands and the Emperor. Yeah, that is the essence of your energy right now going on, okay? So a battle of the will inside, competition is your friend, and then the Emperor, again, you are destined to experience a lot of financial stability. You are able to be an entrepreneur. You can build your own business. This will happen. It is fated. It is in your destiny. Okay, Pile 3, I really enjoyed your reading. If you did, or if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope that you guys are having a great fall, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. And until next time, stay divine.